Hey guys, so I dyed my hair again, so it's back to purple. It's gonna fade eventually, and I'm gonna be too lazy to dye it for like a couple of months again. But like, for the meantime, let's just appreciate the purple. Maybe when it fades again, I won't be as lazy and I'll dye it sooner. Who knows? I'm here to talk about all of the books that I read in January, which just so happens to be just the Darker Shades of Magic series. I started A Darker Shade of Magic on December 31st and finished it January 10th. Then I started A Gathering of Shadows on January 13th and finished it on the 26th. Not sure about that one. I think that's correct. You can check my Goodreads if you really want to know. And then I started The Conjuring of Light right after that, and I finished it on like February 2nd. Or, yeah, because yesterday was the 3rd. And I started What If It's Us yesterday and just forgot to update Goodreads. But anyway, technically, I also read these two books in other months, because I finished this one in February and I started this one in December. But, like, I read most of them in January, so, like, we're gonna count it. Also, the covers are different because I bought this book. This is my book. But these two books are my friend's books. So, that's why they're different, like, covers. I am eventually going to buy the UK covers of A Gathering of Shadows and A Conjuring of Light to match my Darker Shade of Magic, so I have the entire series, and they're all the same covers. But yeah, so anyway, these aren't my books. I gotta return them eventually, but my friend's really busy, so who knows when I'll actually return them. She actually has my copy of Not Your Villain, so, like, I hope I get that back, because I don't not trust her to give me the book back. She's just been really busy, so she hasn't had time to read it. But, I'm, like, kind of missing it a little bit on my shelf. But I'm glad it's getting read, and, like, she really liked the first book, so I'm, like, really hoping she likes the second book, too, because, like, in my opinion, the second book is better. But that's just because I love bells. Anyway, like, I'm getting off on tangents here. Let's talk about my thoughts on A Dark Shade of Magic. I'm not going to do spoilers in this video, so, like, don't worry about that. But if you want spoilers, you can always watch my reading vlogs. I'm just saying. But, anyway, A Dark Shade of Magic was very good. I was really into the world building and, like, Kel as a character and, like, just, the world was really cool, and, like, the way they handled magic was really cool, and, like, I was, like, real hype, and I was like, yeah, this is a really cool world, I can't wait to spend more time in it. And then it ended, and I was like, huh, that's a good way to end the book, like, you really don't need any more books after this, do you? And then I was like, okay, yeah, you do, because I want to live in the world more. So, that brings us, 5 stars, by the way, obviously. That brings us to A Gathering of Shadows. I liked Ryan the first book, but, like, in this book, oh boy, he's a quality character. So, yeah, like, this book is really cool because, like, it expands upon the world building some more. Like, it introduces, like, 2 other kingdoms that, like, border the Red London Kingdom, and you get to learn more about that, and that's really cool. And, like, it's just, you get to learn more about Kel, you get to learn more about Lila, you get to learn more about some other characters that I'm not going to mention because it's technically kind of a big spoiler. So I'm not going to mention those characters, but you get to learn more about them, and boy did I enjoy learning about them. Also, I gave this 5 stars, again, obviously. Finally, we have A Conjuring of Light, which is a very good conclusion to the series. The stakes are very high, and, like, they have to defeat something that I'm not going to tell you, because that would be a spoiler, and, like, I'm not going to spoil anything, y'all. So, yeah, this book is a very good conclusion. You get to, obviously, learn more about the characters. That's really cool. I always love learning about more characters. Rye shines in this book like the true character he is. I love him so much. And, like, his character development in this book is just so good, y'all. So good. Kel was my favorite character in the first book, but, like, when it got to the second and the third book, I was just like, no, it's Fry. I'm sorry, Kel. You're still my son, but, like, your brother owns my heart. And so, anyway, this is just a really good conclusion to a really good series, and I gave it 5 stars. I give the series as a whole 5 stars. Like, it's pretty damn good. It's not my favorite series, and it's not like in my favorite shelf on Goodreads because of one particular aspect of the book. Well, it's not a thing in the first book. It's just hinted at in the first book. But it's definitely a thing in the second and the third book. I'm just not a fan. So, for that reason, it's not a favorite series, but it's still a 5-star series in my book. So, like, if you want to read it, it's pretty good. So that's what I read in January. And hopefully I read a lot more in February. I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm gonna read more than 3 books in February. I already started What If It's Us. I'm like 100 pages through it right now. And I have the day off today, so I'm going to read some more today. And then tomorrow I have a 10 out of 12 tech rehearsal, which means that I'm going to have lots of time where I'm not doing anything down in that trap room, and I'm just going to be reading. I also figured out when to read during the show. This month is going to be so good for reading because I'm going to have shit tons of double show days. Anyway, that's my attempt to do a non-spoiler review of the Darker Shades of Magic series. It's pretty shitty, which is why I'm not going to call this a Darker Shades of Magic series review in the title. I'm just going to call it a January wrap-up, so people don't come in expecting, like, some great review, because we know I can't do that. I hope you enjoyed this rambly video, quite honestly, and I will see you in the next one.